Good afternoon and welcome to this weekend's camping. It's been a few weeks. I haven't been very well, quite simply. So this is the first camp for probably 3 weeks or a month, something like that, which is unusual for me, someone who's out most weekends. So I need to get back into the routine. I've already started putting my gear together and I suddenly thought, I'm not doing any filming. So I'll bring you in now. Welcome back. I've gone with the DDXL hammock for this weekend because it's quite mild at the moment. We've had some really good weather last few days and it's going to be getting progressively hotter over the next few days. So I didn't want to be shut in a tent, it'll be too warm. Probably too warm in a bivvy too, so I thought hammock would be the best option. Also I've chosen this one because of the decent size bug net. It is that time of year, so a bit of bug protection as well. I'm just going for some very basic coverage. No rain forecast, but it'd be sod's law. If I don't do this, I'll get wet. So, a bit of belt and braces really. Right, well, first adjustment of the day. I wanted it like this because I wanted just like a short overhang here. Let some air under it. But where I need to peg the front out, it's just not working out right with what I've got to use. So I'm going to have to change it. Forget what you saw just now on film. Time to spin it diamond. And now I've turned it diamond, of course, I need more room. These trees are too close together. I'm not moving it all. It's a little bit too big. So just need to shorten it slightly. I'll go down to the next loop. That'll do. Right, now we're diamond shaped. I was going to put this corner sort of right up on a pole so I can see out basically and get airflow under there because it's quite warm. And I even went as far as scavenging a pole. The downside of that is from there I'm going to have a guy line down. And these ones that I'm using, they're very fine and they're not those reflective type. So I know damn well at some point I will fall over this. Now it's a little bit out of shot, but there's a small skinny tree over there. It's probably 2 maybe 3 meters from me. And what I'm thinking is, if I extend this full length and stick a bungee on the end, I might better go to that tree. No pole, no guy lying on the floor. For an accident prone person like me, that might be a good idea. Right, the only thing left to do, not that it's really necessary, but because I've come off the corner here to make it shorter, that's the proper corner, got a flappy bit, which will probably annoy me. OCD strikes again. So I'm going to plunge it around this tree, if we bungee's long enough. Oh, not quite. Okay, I'll bungee it onto the strap then. That'll still hold. I'll just stop that bit flapping, especially if the wing gets up in the night. Flap, 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 flap. It's going to annoy me. That'll fix it. Right, I haven't brought my under blanket. Hell, it's midsummer, shouldn't need it in theory, but you still can get a bit chilly sometimes in a hammock, especially if the wind gets up. Partly why I wanted the backside there sheltered, bit of wind protection. But what I've done is I've gone slightly heavier than I would do normally for this time of year on the sleeping bag front. I've brought the Andes barrel bag, which is a 3-season bag, so it's a bit thicker, so it will help a little bit with the wind protection, but because it's the barrel shaped one, you have got room to move in it. So if I've gone over the top and I get too warm, I've got plenty of room to move about in there. Can always just unzip it and have it over me if necessary. But it was a compromise. That's what I've gone with. Just stick the little inflatable pillow in, and bed is done. It's set up. Should be all right. I normally sleep quite well in this. It's not the most expensive thing in the world, but I like it. It's the DD Frontline XL. On the Frontline, DD Frontline XLs, you can always tell the difference between standard Frontline and XL Frontline. XL's got the hoop either end. The Frontline is more square in its bug net. The bug net space inside this is about twice what the standard Frontline is. Right. Zip him up, keep the bugs out. Not that it's too bad at the moment. Job done.
Army foyer with me next month. So.
Okay. Have a look in a minute, see if we work something out. Right, I'm here with Brian today. Brian's actually been good enough to travel down, what, 200 miles or something like that?
Almost. Right?
Yeah, thereabouts. Some of you will remember, if you've followed the channel for a while, last summer I had a sort of like a drive around the southern part of England, spent a week camping here, there and everywhere. Brian was actually good enough to host me when I was at the sort of furthest north point, Staffordshire. Where were we, Forrest?
Cannock Chase.
Cannock Chase. Couldn't remember the bloody name. When I camped at Cannock Chase, I used Brian's location. He was good enough to host me there. That's the first time I met Brian, and it's the first time I've seen you since, isn't it? Really, because of the distance apart. Obviously, we keep in touch on Facebook and that sort of thing, but obviously distance is an issue. So this weekend he's come down here to my neck of the woods to see what it's like down here on the sunny south coast, and we're lucky this weekend. It is sunny.
Just a little bit more sunny than up my end.
Yeah, lovely, lovely.
Oh, it's nice down.
So yeah, we'll. I'll show you what's behind the camera, what he's using this weekend. Right, this is Brian's setup. It's actually first time out for him using this. It's a new one, and of course, as per normal, as he starts filming, a bloody plane goes over. Sorry. Nightcat trekking pole tent. Now, I've seen a few trekking pole tents, and they're all the same sort of layout, but I've never seen the Nightcat version. So I'm going to have a bit of a nosy around this. We'll see. Right, well, I've had a proper look round the Nightcat. Looks nice. Looks, you know, they've used decent materials, like a ripstop sort of fabric. Nice amount of mesh on the inner, so condensation shouldn't be too big a issue. Decent sized vestibule either side, access either side. It's a proper two-man. It's at least 4 feet, 4.5 feet wide inside, something like that. So 2 regular sleep mats side by side wouldn't be an issue in there. And of course, you've got the vestibule space left and right, or porch, that you can put your bags, boots and so on for 2 people. So yeah, proper two-man size. We were just saying the only strange thing, where the walking poles go up into the point here, on most of this style tent I've seen, it has, what can we say, like a little sort of receiver or cup area for the top of the pole to go into so it doesn't move or slip or whatever. This has just got like sort of reinforced fabric. I'm sure it's not going to do any damage or anything like that, but there's nothing really to stop the pole moving if it was like really, really rough weather. Although it's got some decent going out points all round, it shouldn't be an issue. But yeah, I just find that rather strange that they didn't do that. But yeah, apart from that, it looks pretty cool. Oh, there we go. Good evening, good catch up, lots of chattering, and before you know it, where are we? Midnight. Done very little filming, sorry. Just, you know, too busy chatting and the time's just got away with us. Oh, now I've got the light on the camera, bloody moths everywhere, so I'm going to switch that off and get myself into bed. Well, I'm all nicely tucked up in bed. I always really enjoy this hammock. It's just so big, massive bug net. It's perfect. Really do like this one. Hopefully the Andy's bag will be warm enough. For these temperatures, as a bag, it's absolutely fine for tent, bivvy, that sort of use. If anything, slightly too warm. But of course, I'm not using an under blanket, so you have got that slight sort of chill factor under you. Hopefully one will cancel the other out. I will find out overnight. See you in the morning.
Good morning. Looks like it's a really nice one. Blue sky. Wasn't particularly cold last night. It was alright. Not bad at all. Went to bed about midnight. It's about 7:45 now. Let's get up and have a wee and have some coffee. First order of the day.
There you go. This is a prime example of why I like using that Decathlon tarp. Beautiful morning, really, really bright. That would have been shining straight in my face, laying in the hammock. But look under here. I mean, it's a little bit shining through. I don't know quite how well that's focusing. You know, enough to sort of show the pattern, but it's blocking out sort of at least 90% of the sunlight. It's actually still quite, it's a bit deceptive on the camera. It's actually darker than it looks as I'm filming. It's still quite sort of shady inside the hammock, but outside it's like that. Why don't more manufacturers make a black underside to their tarps? It just makes so much sense. Okay, there's Brian and I all packed up, left everywhere tidy. Time to walk out. Enjoy yourself?
Yes, very good.
Cool.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome anytime, you know that, but it's a
Thank you for having
200-mile commute's a bit much for a camp. But yeah, as long as we enjoyed ourselves.
Yeah.
Right, I'll see you on the next video.